Hi guys, it's Chi-Town Productions. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be, in my opinion, ranking the best, not ranking, but telling you guys who the best players from each NFL team are. As you guys can see, first we're going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think this is a very easy one. It's T.J. Watt. He was dominant. He's one of the best pass rushers. He was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And yeah, I know they have Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's up and coming. But yeah, T.J. Watt, he's just a monster. Second, we have for the Bengals, I think it's going to be Joe Mixon. Now, I know they do have, of course, they have Geno Atkins, but this year he regressed, and he's getting up there in age. They have AJ Green, but he just cannot stay healthy. So this decision was between Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd. I feel like Joe Mixon is a more of an impactful player because they have other wide receivers, but he had over 1,000 yards rushing. Yes, I think it's Joe Mixon's gonna be the best player on this team. Next, we're gonna have the Browns. Now, this one's gonna cause a lot of controversy in the comment section. Nick Chubb. So the Browns' best player is Nick Chubb, and the reason I say that is because he had 1,400 yards, and that's a lot. And then you guys are thinking about OBJ. Jarvis Landry, they did have pretty good seasons, but they didn't have as good of a season as Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, he's actually very underrated, and even though he's one of the best running backs, I think he's a top 5 running back in the NFL. He's still very underrated, and I feel like he deserves more attention than OBJ and Jarvis Landry are good, but they had 1,000 yards each, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I feel like he was more impactful, and against the Ravens game, if you guys saw it in week 3 or something, 3 or 4, he was the reason they won. So yeah, running game, he's one of the best running backs. So yeah, I feel like this was hard, but I think it's them. It's Nick Chubb. Next, we have Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. This is pretty self-explanatory. The MVP, the best player, the most valuable player. So yeah, Lamar Jackson. This should be pretty easy. Next player we're gonna have is Patrick Mahomes. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and Super Bowl champion. This is another easy one. If you know anything about football, this should be pretty easy. Next player we're gonna have is Josh Jacobs, guys. This rookie is taking, well, not a rookie anymore, but in his rookie season, he took the NFL by storm. He had over 1,000 yards rushing, and he was really, really dominant. I don't watch many Raiders games, but I watched them versus the Bears, and man, he was really, really good. Especially, he gives opportunity for the quarterback to do play action passes. In this game, it was Derek Carr. So yeah, Nick Chubb. It could have been Derek Carr, but Derek Carr, he just can't make the playoffs in the last 2 seasons. And then Nick Chubb, he had Josh Jacobs, he had over 1,000 yards, and yeah, and he was the offensive rookie of the year candidate. Next player we have is for the Chargers. We have Joey Bosa. I feel like it should be Joey Bosa because it could be Keenan Allen, but I feel like Joey Bosa. This is another tough one because Keenan Allen. He's elite receiver, and Joey Bosa is a elite pass rusher. It's not Phillip Rivers. Because he's in the Colts. But even if he was still in the Chargers, he wouldn't have been there. Melvin Gordon left, so it's either between him or Keenan Allen. But I feel like this one, you could choose whoever you want. I'm saying Joey Bosa because I feel like last year, I know they both had a big impact, but I feel like he did suffer some injuries, but I feel like he's more impactful than Keenan Allen. It's because and the defense needs him. The defense really needs him because they don't have that other elite pass rusher. Also, in the next couple of years, this could change. This could be Derwin James. This year he had to face some injuries, but I love him as a player. Next, we're going to have, for the Broncos, Von Miller. Another one that could change because, Von Miller's getting up there in age. Nick Chubb is still young. Not Nick Chubb. Bradley Chubb. He tore his ACL this season, so it's hard to decide who it was. So, yeah, I took the guy that played this season, the Super Bowl MVP, who is Von Miller. One of the best pass rushers in the league. At the time, he was the best pass rusher 2015, I believe. So, yeah, this was pretty easy, too. Next, we have Stephon Gilmore for the Patriots. Defensive Player of the Year. Lockdown, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. And, of course, they had some key departures like Tom Brady. Next, we have Tre'Davious White for the Bills, guys. This one, the Bills surprisingly they made the playoffs, but they don't have like too many, players that you would think a playoff team has. Like Tre'Davious White is elite. I think he's an elite cornerback. He's that lockdown cornerback you can have, and yeah, I feel like he was the second. I forgot what pick he was. I feel like he was in the second round, and he turned out to be really, really good this season and last season. He's a really good lockdown corner. Next we have Devontae Parker for the Dolphins. He wouldn't. So if I feel like if Minkah Fitzpatrick was still in Dolphins, he would be there. But since he's not, Devontae Parker, he turned up the last few games of the season and surpassed 1,200 yards. So I think it's going to be them. So yeah, Dolphins is going to be Devontae Parker. Next for the Jets, this one's pretty easy. The Jamal Adams, one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best. So Jamal Adams, hard hitting, just very good player, elite safety. And also like some other people, like the Jets don't really have too many like big names. And I know they have Sam Darnold, but this is his make or break year. And other than that, yeah, really. Next we have the Texans, J.J. Watt. This would have been really, really, really hard if DeAndre Hopkins was still on them, but Bill O'Brien said no. So yeah, J.J. Watt, elite pass rusher. Injuries have just kept him off the field in the last couple of years. But elite pass rusher. When he's on the field, not only is he a great player, but a great leader. Next we have for the Colts. This one was tough. It was either between Quentin Nelson or Darius Leonard. I know you have to be like, where is Philip Rivers? Guys, Philip Rivers, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback anymore because he's past his prime. And while we have Darius Leonard, who's not only a beast of a linebacker, he could rush, he could he could rush, he could cover, he could do everything. And yeah, I feel like he deserves it over Quentin Nelson. Although Quentin Nelson, this was really tough, guys. Quentin Nelson, he's one of the best young linemen in the league. So yeah, that was tough. But I chose Darius Leonard. Next, we have Leonard Fournette for the Jaguars. Another one I was gonna say, like, they don't have too much talent on their team. Like, of course, they have some key departures like Calais Campbell, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. So yeah, I feel like he's gonna be the best player on their team. He had over 1,000 yards. So yeah. Next, we have, of course, the King, Derrick Henry. This is no doubt about it. He single-handedly carried. Oh, I don't want to say that. Well, he kind of did, but he really helped Ryan Tannehill with the play-action game, because if he wasn't there, then, boy, it would have been tough for them to even make the playoffs. And when he was in the playoffs, we all know what happened. Cinderella story, he's the best running back in the league, I believe. He's just unstoppable. Like, every single play, he falls down for, like, 5 yards. And he's too powerful, so yeah. He's the best running back in the league, and I think he's the best player on the Titans. Next, we have another running back up from the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, guys. Ezekiel Elliott, of course, they have a roster that is star-studded, full of course, they have Dak Prescott. Now they have CeeDee Lamb, but, we're not really going to play, so we're not going to consider him. Amari Cooper. DeMarcus Lawrence, he got paid his money, but he hasn't performed this season. But, Zeke is always consistently playing good. Just give him the ball, and he'll just eat. Next, we have Saquon Barkley. So 3 back-to-back running backs, as you guys see. Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants. Again, they don't have too much talent. Of course, they got rid of OBJ. And they're a pretty young team. Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard, and Saquon Barkley on their offense. And Saquon, one of the best running backs in the league. Top 5 if you ask me. So yeah, Saquon Barkley, best player on the Giants. Next we have the Eagles. This is really, really tough, guys, because the Eagles, they have Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, Lane Johnson, and it's just like really tough because like they all are very good. But I'm thinking, okay, when I have this decision, I just think of who is the most impactful, because like this year Zach Ertz didn't get to 1,000 yards. And last year he did. This year he didn't. But Carson Wentz, he's just been... Without Carson Wentz, they couldn't make the playoffs. Let's be serious. They have been injured all the time. They have been injured. The Eagles, the whole roster has been injured. but this year Carson Wentz was there the whole season, other than the playoffs, and yeah, they got to the playoffs. So yeah, Carson Wentz deserves credit, and yeah, he deserves my credit for the best player on the Philadelphia Eagles. Next, this one's going to be controversial too because he hasn't even played a single snap in the NFL, but it's going to be Chase Young, guys. Of course, they had T-Mac, but I just don't. I mean, T-Mac, of course, he's a great wide receiver, rookie. Had a great rookie season. But I feel like Chase Young, he's a guy that just won't be a bust. Like he just won't be a bust. He's gonna be elite no matter what. Like I used to have some of that thought that he's gonna be like elite, because like if you see some of his tape in college at Ohio State, he's just unstoppable. I feel like it's gonna translate to the NFL. But this one's just a controversial pick by me. Next, Chicago Bears. This is an easy one. Khalil Mack. I mean, a lot of these teams, they have like a lot of players. If they were in another team, they would be number one. So like yeah, for example, the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill might have been number one in a different team. Travis Kelce would have been the number one in a different team. And same with the Bears. Not much as the Kansas City Chiefs, but they also have Eddie Jackson, who could also be number one, and Akeem Hicks number one in another team. So yeah, next we have Matthew Stafford from the Lions. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he gets a lot of hate. I don't get it. What can you do with the defense? Like, you can only do so much for your team. Matthew Stafford. I mean, I kind of gotta feel sorry for him. He's stuck in the Lions with probably one of the worst defenses of all time. And like there's the failure. The Lions have just been a failure the last couple of seasons, and he has somehow helped them have records like 9-7, which I don't know how he does it, but he does. So Matthew Stafford, he's underrated and he gets a lot of hate, which he doesn't deserve. So hopefully this year he can he can get his appreciation he wanted. Cause like this year he had an amazing year, guys. Until he got injured, he was just putting up all these numbers. He was being clutch and all. It was just his defense just failing him. And next we have Packers. This one's gonna be weird because like Aaron Rodgers is past his prime, but I still feel like he's the best player. Of course, you had the Smith brothers, Devontae Adams. I feel like it's still gonna be Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, because just because he's so clutch and everything. So yeah, next we're gonna have for the Vikings Harrison Smith, guys. Harrison Smith is a Pro Bowl safety, and he's one of the most feared safeties in the NFL. He's just really good, Especially his ability to read coverages is really amazing. So yeah, best safety. No, not best, but one of the best safeties in the NFL. Next, for the Atlanta Falcons, this is a very easy one. Julio Jones, who has put up numbers every single season, and you can count on him. First of all, he doesn't get injured that much. Second of all, he's gonna put up over 1,300 yards every season. Like really, to be honest. And mind you, he doesn't have a good defense at all. But yeah, I bet Julio Jones could be the starting safety for the Falcons, or at least a backup. He's actually a really good safety. But yeah, I feel like he just deserves to get more credit. I mean, like I think he's the best safety best wide receiver in the league. I know it's Michael Thomas, but I think he's better. He does. I feel like he deserves a Super Bowl ring before he leaves. Before he leaves the NFL and retires. I feel like he deserves the NFL. He deserves a ring. Maybe he could be like a Randy Moss type of player, just leaves past his prime when he's still good, like to the Patriots, but actually wins instead of because the Patriots, what happened to them was they basically got Randy Moss, but they didn't win a Super Bowl. Well, hopefully Julio Jones, I really like him. He's so humble. Hopefully he can get a Super Bowl by the end of his career. They had a chance, they just blew it. Next, we're going to have, for the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. This would have been really hard if they still had Luke Kuechly, but Luke Kuechly retired. So, yeah, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey, guys. Let's be serious. He can do everything. He can receive. He can do that. He could be a starting receiver for the Panthers. He had over 1,000 yards receiving and over 1,000 yards rushing. So, yeah. In my opinion, he's the number 2 best running back in the NFL. Next after that, we have Michael Thomas. Yeah. Funny how 2 of the best players on their respective teams are in this roster who recently had a bit of fighting going on in Instagram. So yeah, Michael Thomas, Drew Brees in his prime, yeah, definitely, but Drew Brees is past his prime. He's like 40 now or 41. I can't remember really. So yeah, Drew Brees, throwing to him. Of course, he has a great quarterback throwing him, but over 1,700 yards, 148 receptions. That's just insane. Like that's just insane numbers. Michael Thomas, he is gonna be the best player on the New Orleans Saints. After that, we have this is the most controversial one, I think, in my opinion, because for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Shaq Barrett. Now you're gonna be thinking, how about Tom Brady? Guys, Tom Brady is not an elite quarterback anymore. You could say above average, but he's not elite. And yeah, he's past his prime. But for sure, Shaquille Barrett, Chris Godwin, or Mike Evans, you could say either one of them. And I wouldn't disagree with you. This was just my opinion. 19.5 sacks. Like, that's just insane numbers right there. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be him. My opinion again. So yeah. Next, we're going to have the the Cardinals, of course. DeAndre Hopkins, I feel like Patrick Pearson has also regressed this season. He hasn't been that much of a lockdown corner this season. So yeah, with the new addition of DeAndre Hopkins, he can be really, really scary with Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. Mind you, Kenyon Drake is a very good running back too. So yeah, their offense could get rolling this year. And they could be a serious threat. So yeah, next we're going to have George Kittle on the 49ers. Guys, one of my favorite players in the NFL. His personality is so enjoyable. He always has fun on the field. George Kittle, I think this is an easy one. I know they have a lot of they're a young team too. Yeah, Matt Breida, who had hit a amazing postseason. They have Nick Bosa, of course, Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year. So yeah, I feel like George Kittle is, he's a guy who leads the team also, and also they would have been there without without George Kittle. Because let's be serious, if you guys watched that game against the Saints, if he didn't make that catch, then you guys need to realize the 49ers would not have won the division. So yeah, next we're gonna have for the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, guys. Another one you could do either two players, Bobby Wagner or Russell Wilson. In this situation, I think about who makes more of an impact. It's the quarterback, Russell Wilson. Well, Bobby Wagner, amazing middle linebacker. Now he's the best middle linebacker in the league because, of course, Luke Kuechly retired. So yeah, amazing quarterback. He's just so amazing. He's like magical. In my opinion, he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, behind Patrick Mahomes. Next for the Rams, we have Aaron Donald, guys. Let's be serious. This guy just cannot be stopped. Like, I don't care what you do, double team. He's gonna put up double-digit sacks every single year. He's just so good. He could win Defensive Player of the Year like almost every single year. Like, it's like, how many times has he won it? He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, and there's no doubt about it. In my opinion, he is the best pass rusher in the league. But even though I am a Bears fan, I gotta admit, he's the best pass rusher in the league. Rams, this is easy. But again, I was talking about how this team might have more than one player that could be one on other people's list, number one player, and that's Jalen Ramsey. If he was on another team, maybe like the Jaguars again, he would be the number one player. But okay, after that that's it, guys. So yeah, if you guys disagree with me, comment down below in the comment section. I feel like the most arguable decision I made was the Buccaneers choosing Shaquille Barrett. Wait, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please mind subbing. And until next time, peace, guys. Stay safe.